When you rescue a spider from your bathtub, it's usually because it crawled in by mistake. But this guy has been getting stuck every single day for a week now. Yet, as it turns out, he's desperately trying to save himself from something. Why do you keep going to the bathroom, little guy? Whoa, he jumped.
Whoa, oh my days.
Okay, let's put you in here before you get hurt. But are you thirsty or something? Well, you are very cute. However, when you are as tiny as this guy, even a little bit of water can feel like a flood. So while he figures out that he's still safe with us, we need to stay extremely still. But after a couple minutes, he had a massive drink of water. Guys, look! I'm so glad he's drinking water. However, our little spider might have something more serious going on than we originally thought. Some of you might have seen it earlier, but this guy keeps on losing his balance. And according to Dr. Google, this is a problem. Guys, obviously I feel too bad just throwing him outside to let him figure it all out. So while we work on whatever's going on with him, he needs somewhere more comfortable to relax. But as you guys know, we are in the middle of moving houses right now, so I don't really want to buy more stuff just to move it all next week. However, I remembered seeing this pile of plastic that might make a good home for our spider if I can remember how to put it all together. And of course, after closing up the gap in the lid here so that our little guy can't escape before we figure out what's wrong with him, the shell of his temporary home is finished. But he obviously needs a couple more things to feel more comfortable. Luckily for us though, our spider comes from my backyard. So all we need is some soil and twigs, and this should feel like home. However, getting our microscopic spider into his home may be more difficult than I originally thought. As it turns out, jumping spiders can actually recognize people and even build trust with them. But obviously, we've only had our little guy for 1 day now, so every time he sees me, he probably feels a little scared. Oh no. This was the first time I ever held our jumping spider, and looking back on it, it's surprising that our little spider actually had enough trust in me to let me pick him up and move him into his new home. He's clearly still a bit nervous, but at this point, our little guy needs a name, and I'm gonna call him Frederick, after one of our subscribers. So make sure to subscribe if you want to be named in our next video. Regardless, now that Frederick has been in here for a couple days, I think it's time we give him his first meal. I just need to remove some sticks because I added in way too many, but honestly, I also had to do this because feeding Frederick has got to be one of the most difficult things to do while filming him. Not only does he blend in so well that I can never find him, but he is also so small and quick that I can't even get my camera to focus on him fast enough. However, I feel like as he starts to trust us more and more over the coming weeks while I feed him, not only will he stand out in the open more often, but I should be able to set up the camera better. But until then, I want to see if it's possible to hold him on my hand for a bit longer than last time. You see, it's been about 2 weeks since we rescued him, and he sees me every day, so hopefully he has gotten used to me. Because personally, I've started looking forward to seeing his cute face every morning.
Come boy, let's take a selfie. Can you see him? Oh, no, you're in frame, boy. Chill. Cheese. Okay, that's enough, boy.
This is by far the longest amount of time I've been able to hold Frederick. He's become super comfortable with just hanging around on my hands or arms and doesn't mind dangling from my web while I hold him. However, we can't push our luck too much. When he feels ready to go back to his home, he turns around and starts moving towards it. And of course, we've got to let him go back in there before he just jumps onto the floor, especially because he still has something wrong with him. You see, it's been 2.5 weeks now, and while he has started to trust us, I've noticed something pretty strange. He usually hides up in these corners, but for some reason, he always jumps down onto the ground when I feed him, even though he knows that flies will walk up towards the roof. You gotta remember guys, jumping spiders are the most intelligent spiders in the world. They can learn stuff and also have extremely good vision. So him jumping down to what is essentially the floor is very strange. And not only that, but when he tries to catch his food, he usually ends up missing twice before he catches it. And I don't think he's missing because of my bad videography skills. What's wrong, boy? He's literally right in front of you. Oh, you missed, boy. Let me get that on camera. You've got this, boy. Just do what spiders do and let me set this damn camera up. You got it, good boy. Damn, you got it just before I set this camera up. But that doesn't matter, I'm just glad you've eaten, boy. Well done. Regardless, I try to find out what kind of jumping spider Frederick is, which might help us explain his behavior, but after a few hours of searching, I couldn't really figure it out. So if you guys know, please let me know in the comments. Yet until then, there's something quite important we need to do with Frederick. You see, jumping spiders do like to explore outside of their home sometimes. However, even though Frederick has kind of recovered a little bit, I don't really think it is safe to let him out, as he could end up getting more hurt if he tries to jump onto the floor again or something like that. So instead, I'll take him out to explore while keeping him in his enclosure. Now, seeing as Frederick has such good eyesight, this should feel like he has explored even a tiny bit, and he can also be reminded of what the outside world looks like. Yet, as I mentioned, Frederick does have some kind of issues with him. I don't know if it's his legs, his eyesight, or maybe something else, but while we have started to bond over the past few weeks at this point, I can't help but feel like his recovery will be very slow. The thing is, spiders only recover or fix whatever is wrong with them every time they shed their exoskeleton. And because I don't know what kind of species Frederick is, I don't know if he is young or old, but I feel like he is older, which means that he will shed less often than a young spider. Regardless, the most we can do to help him recover is to give him as much food and water as he wants until he eventually does shed his skin. It's on this side, boy. Oh, he got it! I'm so glad he got it. It took him a while to find it, but he eventually got it in the end. While we have finally got some good footage of Frederick catching food now, I found something concerning in the bathroom. This is a spider's shed skin, specifically a jumping spider's shed skin, which means that Frederick was living here in the past. This is actually kind of insane to find, because it also means that he has a web hammock somewhere inside of the bathroom. This is something jumping spiders make to kind of claim their home fully, and also something he still hasn't made in the enclosure we built for him. So I think we need to give our friend a choice. I'll put his enclosure in the bathroom and open up the door, and Frederick can then choose to stay living inside his new home or move back into his old one. Oh, wait, there's a spider there. That little guy's running around. Let's rescue him quick. Yep, once again. Come on. Let's go, little guy. I'll be back. What are the odds of that? Another one. Let's open up his new home now. Okay, Frederick, you're free to go. After opening up his enclosure, Frederick didn't really react much. Maybe it's too soon to tell, but even 2 days later, he is still in his enclosure, and I'm still feeding him like normal. I'm not sure if he'll ever leave, so I'm just gonna leave the enclosure in here so he can come and go as he wants. And of course, I'll keep feeding him for as long as he stays here. Now, I may or may not do more videos on him in the future, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Either way, I'll see you in the next one.